Usually when people think of the Psalms, they picture green pastures, quiet waters, maybe a gentle harp playing in the background. It's comforting, right?
Absolutely. It's the spiritual equivalent of a warm blanket. But then you stumble into the territory we're covering today, Psalms 108, 109, and 1 at 10, and suddenly that warm blanket feels a lot more like a suit of armor, or maybe a crime scene tape.
It really does. It feels like emotional whiplash. We go from this incredibly confident victory song straight into one of the darkest, most violent prayers in the entire Bible and finish up with this mysterious, cosmic coronation. It's a lot to process.
It is, but that's the beauty of it. It's raw. Let's start with 108. It kicks off with David feeling unstoppable. He's waking up the dawn with his music. He's not just asking God for help, he's claiming territory.
That part really stood out to me. The imagery is so specific and, honestly, kind of strange. He talks about Ephraim being his helmet and Judah his scepter, which makes sense for a king. But then he says implies Moab is his wash basin, and he's going to throw his shoe at Edom.
I love that image, throwing the shoe. In the ancient Near East, that wasn't just an insult, it was a legal claim. It's like planting a flag. He's saying, "This is mine, I own this." It's a song of absolute confidence that God is going to crush the opposition. David is basically saying, human help is useless. We need the divine warrior to stomp down the enemy.
It's high energy. But then, we turn the page to Psalm 109, and the mood in the room just drops.
It plummets. This is what scholars call an imprecatory psalm, which is a fancy way of saying a cursing psalm. And David isn't holding back. He's been betrayed, lied about, and attacked by people he loved, and he doesn't turn the other cheek.
Not even close. I mean, he's not just asking for justice. He's getting incredibly specific about how he wants this guy's life to fall apart. He's praying for his enemy's days to be short, for his wife to be a widow, and this is the part that got me, for his children to be wandering beggars.
It's brutal. It makes us uncomfortable, doesn't it? We like our spirituality polite. But David is showing us that rage is a valid human emotion to bring before God. He's basically walking into a courtroom and screaming for the maximum sentence.
So is the takeaway here that it's okay to wish ruin on people? Because that seems problematic.
I think the takeaway is about where you take that anger. David doesn't take a sword and go kill the guy's kids. He takes the rage, the toxicity, and the bitterness, and he dumps it all on God. It's like he's saying, I am filled with this poison, and if I keep it, it will kill me. So God, you take it.
That's a powerful distinction. It's venting safely rather than acting destructively. He even describes the cursing as being like oil soaking into his bones. He knows it's consuming him.
Exactly. And notice how it ends? He pivots back to dependence. Help me because I'm poor and needy. He realizes that despite his rage, he's fading like an evening shadow. It's incredibly vulnerable.
And just when we think we're stuck in that shadows and bitterness, we hit Psalm 110. And the scope changes completely. We aren't just looking at David anymore. We're looking at something much bigger.
Psalm 110 is fascinating. It's the most quoted psalm in the New Testament for a reason. It stops being about a local king fighting neighbors and becomes about a cosmic ruler. You have this image of a lord sitting at the right hand of God, waiting for enemies to become a footstool.
And then there's that mysterious figure, Melchizedek. You are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek. It feels like a plot twist. Who is this warrior priest?
That's the pivot point. In ancient Israel, you kept the king and the priest separate. One rules, one prays. But here, they are fused together. This figure isn't just ruling from a throne, he's leading a holy army out of the womb of the morning. It's poetic and terrifying. He's judging nations and crushing rulers across the whole earth.
It's a massive escalation from the shoe throwing in 108.
Precisely. In 108, David wants victory over a neighbor. In 110, this king has victory over everything. There's this striking image at the very end where this conquering king stops to drink from a brook by the road and then lifts his head.
That seems so human amidst all the slaughter. What do you make of that?
It's a moment of refreshment. It shows that this king isn't exhausted by the battle. He's relentless, he's victorious, but he's also calm. He takes a drink, lifts his head, and finishes the work. It's the ultimate answer to the helplessness David felt in Psalm 109.
So we have the confidence of the warrior, the desperation of the victim, and finally, the absolute authority of the king. It's like a complete map of the human struggle for justice.
That's it. It reminds us that while we might be stuck in the mud of Psalm 109, feeling betrayed and angry, the story doesn't end there. There is a king who sets things right, not just locally, but cosmically.
A king who doesn't just toss a sandal, but crushes the very head of the enemy. It leaves you wondering, If we really believed that kind of justice was coming, how much easier would it be to let go of our own need for revenge?
That is the question, isn't it? If the king has the final word, maybe we don't need to scream quite so loud in the courtroom.
Something to think about. Thanks for breaking this down with me today.
My pleasure. Until next time, God bless.